I have to put these messages out against Justin Bieber because, I mean, I think a lot of people, they dealt with factors of, strangers, people trying to attack them at least once in their life. But then it comes to that factor when you're really dealing with like a really hardcore enemy. When you come to that realization that person is your extreme enemy, and they're literally just trying to like do anything to just cause you to like not be seen or not be able to do your work, or just like any type of movement you want to make, it's just like this weird enemy just there, just ready to just like try and stop you from just like doing anything. And this is what it is with Justin. This is why, like, it's important that people learn, read books, and educate themselves on issues to try and heal themselves, and stop trying to like attach them to stop trying to attach themselves to the wrong people. If God didn't ordain it, then it's not supposed to be. You don't go to like the devil trying to attach yourself to a person just because they have higher DNA than you. That's error. And then on top of it, like, factors of just trying to like imitate to be that person. And then it's like you want the same type of money that person's supposed to have. That's a lie. Yeah, that's a lie. That's just too much hatred. This is the reason why I put these videos out, because I'm just coming to realization how much of an enemy he actually is towards me. He's an actual real enemy. He represents someone who doesn't believe in peace. That's what Justin represents. It's like you do a whole bunch of devil things, and then they feel as if like, oh, I'm supposed to just get away with just being a demon on this planet. Justin, check the records, because every person that did a bad deed, they got caught up for it. There's plenty of people in the music industry over the years, before you were even born or before you even came on the scene, that got caught up for issues. You got R. Kelly, you got like all kind of issues, all kind of issues. You understand me? So yeah, you just need to like admit for a fact that what you did was wrong. The deeds that you put out towards another person was wrong, and that the factors behind it, your reasoning behind it, of like literally trying to like compete with me or just be jealous of me, just based on the fact that I'm just a high vibrational person and I have a different mixture of DNA. Just those three factors is not a reason for someone to attack somebody. It's not a positive message. Those are negative messages. And then you're putting out this factor as if like that's what God ordained for your life, and you think that was actually your destiny, Justin? Come on. You know for a fact that's a lie. It's a lie. You know what it reminds me of? Like, I remember I worked in a lot of jobs, but it reminded me of the time when, like, you ever been working on the job, and then let's say you had to go on vacation, like a 2-week vacation or sick leave or something, and then would take up your someone would work your position until you would come back. And then when you come back from the job, it's all these problems and stuff. The people who you used to serve start complaining and saying, oh, I want this person back, and da 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 da, because this person, the person they put in place didn't do things right, and whatever. This reminds me of it. It reminds me of those type of situations. you know I just like, it's just kind of weird. Like, you're not me. You never went through my experiences. That's the messed up part about this. Like, all these. First, I want to post online that, oh, I was a politician, or I was a social worker back in the day, and then there's no actual evidence that you actually worked in those occupations because you actually weren't there. These are the factors I'm talking about when it comes to Justin. You can't steal my occupations, like my journey back in the day, all the records and everything that I went through, all the blood, sweat, and tears. All them times when I used to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, have to get to my job and everything. Like you can't steal all my experiences like that and then post online and then say it was you. You can't do that. And then take money. Why are you taking money when you're lying about your occupations? You can't do those things, Justin. You know? But I'm just using this as an excuse. Like, these are really bad factors that deal with people who want to come up in your life and come around you in your space and stuff and try to create these fake arguments that never existed. They're trying to find some weird way to try and justify themselves for being an evil person. But then Justin's in violation because you're trying to use God, you're trying to use the Most High to lie on another person who's under God. You know, he was under God, the faith, the Spirit of God. It's a no. You can't play with God stuff like that. No, no. Yeah. You should have been, from the time when you got your music contract, you should have just been talking about yourself, because when you signed your music contract how many years ago, I think you got signed when you were, what, 10 years old? So when was that? That was like 2004, 2005, when you got signed, Justin? Like, from the time you got signed on that contract, your music career should have just only been about you, because that's what the contract was signed for. You shouldn't have been trying to include me when it comes to you trying to play off this music career. You shouldn't have did that. I guess Justin was bored and he didn't have much ideas, and so he figured, well, it'd be convenient to just like stalk the living hell out of this black chick because she's high vibes, and steal her information and post it online saying it's you. Please, that's a lie from the pits of hell. I never accepted the fact that you're trying to watch my every move, though. That part I don't accept. That's psychosis. If you look in the DSM book, when it deals with mental illness, that's psychosis. It's like somebody, you're just constantly putting your focus on one person to the point where you start deluding yourself into believing that's your life. But then spirit would do things to create the delusion, to show you. That's why some people get sick, you know? I hope I'm making sense right now. The point is that, like, everybody has their journey. I have my journey. Justin has his journey. And you should have learned, you should have already known. If you are a smart person, you should have had enough sense to know what not to do. Don't interfere yourself with other people's journeys. Don't interfere yourself. That whole jealousy factor, I feel like that's fit for mental illness still. I feel like it's weird. Like, you're constantly looking over and then you see like this weirdo just like creeping behind the shadows, just constantly wanting to see what I'm doing. Don't you think that's weird? Huh? I have to put this information out there. Don't you think that's weird? And then you want to play off as if like, oh, I think I have the same energy as me. There's no way possible. You don't have the same energy as me. You don't have my energy signatures. You don't behave in the way how I behave. You just don't. I think you need to give me back my money, Justin. That's the fact. You don't steal people's records from another country. Like, I remember in Canada when a whole bunch of immigrants come into the country and they come to the country with all these like fake degrees and all that stuff. Canada used to just throw those things in the garbage. They tell them no. You try it with the point system, and if it doesn't work with the point system, then you have to re-educate yourself. That was the order with Canada when it comes to a whole bunch of these liars coming around trying to fake as if they have degrees and PhDs and being fake doctors and nurses and stuff. Nah, and even in Florida there was a nursing school that shut down. Based off of the credentials, the program wasn't equipped enough. With all these factors, you can't just be lying about occupations. You can't do that. And on top of that, Justin, like, because obviously you didn't go to school, it's obvious. So you wouldn't know the order if you actually go to school, like college or university. Once you graduate, you actually have to register with your city, right? You have to actually register or an outside company that deals with licensing. If you're not registered in an actual company, you can't claim yourself to be a certain occupation. And we all know for a fact, Justin, you weren't registered to be in any type of occupation that you were peddling online, claiming yourself to be a part of. Not even royalty. You weren't even registered that way. You wanted to play online, like for appearance wise, right? To be seen a certain way, but you weren't actually that actual person in spirit and truth. And you shouldn't be taking money for that. You shouldn't be taking money for that because historically, our DNA and our heritage, it came from our parents. What your mother and your father were and what their grandparents, parents were, it makes up genetically your DNA. And what they were doing back in the day, it makes up genetically with their DNA what you are. And it's God that makes those factors. So how dare you sit around there lying as if like, oh, I was this and that when you were. And I said it before too, like he came to California when he was 10 years old. So there's no way you could actually claim yourself to be a part of any Canadian record when you were in California. There's not even any recollection that you even went. You didn't even go to school in Canada, Justin. I think you went to MIT, but I don't think you even finished that. I'm just trying to show you these factors of like, this is what it's about. This is what it's about when people like stalk the living hell out of someone's life, trying to steal and hack and do all kind of crap. And then it's these attachments that these people want to keep they want to attach themselves to the wrong people because they want to steal money. And it's a no. You need to return back the money to you because that's not your money. Return it back. Just like, the U.S. government does it all the time. If you're married to somebody, it has to show on paper. It has to be registered. You can't be just lying saying that you're married to somebody when you're not married to that person. You can't be pretending that you're married to somebody when you're married to somebody else. All I can say is that everybody knows for a fact your occupation is musician. Everybody knows that. Everything else, that was bullshit. And you know it for a fact. And that's why you need to return back my money. Because you can't be spending a whole bunch of bullcrap like that and then stealing money from me. No. I want money back. God didn't ordain this. And like I was saying in the other video, like it has to deal with like people need to stop being so biased and prejudiced towards black people. They keep on using the word black, like it's because you're black. Being black is not it's not deficient. Being black is not a deficit. Understand that factor. If you were actually a smart person, Justin, you would view black and white on the same level. You wouldn't be trying to view white above black. If you are actually a high intellectual, if you're actually high intellectually minded, because you're not, you're just doing spell work. You use the devil to do a ritual on me. That's what you did. It's obvious. Things not adding up. I don't know you. I never knew Justin. I didn't know who he was. I was in my corner, being raised by my mother and going to school and working. I didn't know who this kid was. I didn't know him until he came to California and then he was with Usher. That's when the world became to know who he was. But I didn't know, people didn't know who he was, not even in Canada. As a matter of fact, the people in Canada didn't even want him there because they said he was rude. I remember Justin, he came to, I think it was 2016, he was in Ottawa, and the people said they didn't want Justin there because he, he speed. They said he was doing too much speed racing, and he had a foul mouth. That's why they didn't want him there. Yeah, he was just like too immature. But I'm just trying to show just the fact that these people stop trying to create fake arguments as if like, well, she's black, and because she's black, she's supposed to be my enemy, and I'm supposed to be her enemy. If that's the argument that you live by, Justin, you're not of God. God, you cannot claim God if that's what you truly wake up and go to bed thinking. You didn't come from the Most High. That's the devil. That's some like Aleister Crowley mess. And if that's the angle that you live by, then stay on that side. And you need to get away from God's people. You can't mix the two. You can't mix like that type of satanic worship with hard Christian practices. You can't do that. You can't live your life like that. That's beyond witchcraft. You know that, right? That goes into like necromancy. You start doing like really deadly things. You're evil. And I don't care. That's why I need this type of fake attachment lifted off of me. You need to get away from my life. You being a celebrity is not even the factor. No, it is a factor, but it's not my factor. It's your personality. It's your character. It's evil. And it's not something that I want attached to me. It's the type of evil that you're trying to play out with my existence. That's what I don't accept. And you know what he does? Like, he'll do that. He'll play this out, and then he'll be like, he'll go online and be like, oh, feel sorry for me. I'm sick. Like, he expects the whole world to just take up his evil ways. You know what I mean? You do something wicked, and there's a consequence, and then he wants people to feel sorry for him. You're not a man. Straight. You're not a man, Justin. You're not a man at all. Real men don't act like that. Real men don't behave like that. If a man does wrong, a real man will confess and say, yes, I did wrong. But you would never face the truth of the things that you did to me. I know that for a fact because you did not have any remorse for me. And you don't care about my existence in God. You don't care about those factors. And I know that. You just think about it. Like, if somebody was under the church and then you met another Christian person, and then you end up finding out through God that person was high vibrational. And then just based on that God factor, you start being jealous of them. That's sin, isn't it? God, that thought alone, I don't think God accepts that type of thought. No. And then after you had that thought, you decided, let me be jealous of her. And then after that thought, you thought, let me be in competition with her. Yeah, I'm going to use her for that really wicked hate campaign. And it's not really true. It's something that I had to make up, right? I choose her. Why? Well, it's because she's high vibes. And she's a black Jew. And because she's a female. So, I can express, how much of a narcissist and a misogynist I am towards females who, live their God given, born, natural way of living. I can just be that person to project how much I hate that. I hate how a female exists. That's not my argument. You go and take that up with the Most High. Go take that argument with God. That's nothing to do with me, you know? And then you said, oh, well, she's black. That's not your. First of all, that shouldn't even be an issue. But obviously, you made it an issue. Okay? And second of all, you don't go to other people and say, well, da 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 da, because a person is black. If you're going to use that type of analogy, it's not supposed to be negative. It's supposed to be under the diversity factor or inclusion, to be an inclusionist. Well, it's because she's black, so that's why we have to include her, because we need her perspectives. She needs to get her messages out, to help the collective. It's to help. It's to help educate other people that they actually, like, good black people actually exist, right? But guess what, Justin? Your face can't do that work. Why? Because you're not black. You're not me. Do you understand? Oh no, but it's because she's black and, like, I have to stay on top, so I need all the attention. You want attention off of me being a black female. I feel like there's two factors. I feel like he wants attention because I'm high vibing, right? So I felt like there was something to prove in that situation. And then on top of that, I think that hate train of just like, well, because she's a black high vibing person, I just feel like I have to project that narcissism towards her just based on two factors: that she's high vibes and she's a black person. But in actuality, this was never really a fight. Because, Justin, I don't need you. You obviously needed me. It's obvious. And you trying to go through the back door to try and take from the Most High, and that's the reason why you need to return my money back to me. Because if you're legit, you would come through the front door like everybody else. Eh? If you were legit, you wouldn't go hack someone's email and hack someone's phone and then just be constantly watching to see what one particular person is doing all the time. If you're legit, you're not legit. You understand me? It's just it's these factors of people like Justin trying to play out like these illusions, and then he used the internet to do it. And then you want to claim God. That's not gonna work. No. You wanna actually claim yourself to be the original. It's not gonna work with God. Justin, like, I look like the people here in California. Like, I actually have a body and my face. Like, I actually look like the people of, like, in here in California, because I have the actual DNA. That's one factor that I know that you can't claim. You know. And another thing, like, people, like, thousands. LA is next to New York. LA is next to Australia. LA is, in terms of city, the high vibing cities, the metropolitan cities. And people come and travel. When people decide they want to travel all over the world, these are the cities that they usually want to come to. They want to see LA because of the stars. They want to go to New York because the nightlife and entertainment, and they want to go to Australia. Every city, it's known for whatever their attractions are. Every city's known for that, right? But I'm saying, like, people will come here all over the world and be like, oh, I want to pursue music career, da 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 da. Some people just prove their point and then they leave. Excuse me. Some people prove their point and then they leave, right? So my question is to you is that you've been here in California trying to play out my life when you already proved your point when it comes to you pursuing a music career. So beyond the music career, every other factor of you trying to be somebody else in California, that's not going to work. That's not your truth. You're just spreading too much delusion. You know what I mean? Yes, Justin is a vulture, but it even got even worse because we're talking about, like, okay, I'll give you an example. A mother and a father, right? Two people, they come together and they produce a child, right? And out of that child, the child shares the birth parents' inheritance. You know what I mean? Whatever the father has, whatever the mother has, that's what the child gets. So who is this entity named Justin? Who are you? Who is this random kid trying to be up in my life? Who are you, Justin? I didn't give you an invitation to come in to be trying to intrude into my life the way how you've been intruding into my life. And why? Why'd you do it? It's disrespectful because these people, like, there's some people in this world, like, they're the nicest people ever, you know? And then it takes one, like, crazy, delusional, psychotic person, like the way how Justin behaves. It takes one person like that to come around somebody, and then they just come in with a whole bunch of lies and hate, discrimination, and racism to just try and mess up somebody's life based on factors that don't even have anything to do with that person. It's like, someone that just because they see like a black person is like, oh, let me look at that black person and just lie and say that they did X, Y, and Z or A, B, and C to me just to start up an argument because you're jealous. No, that's hate. That's too much hatred. And that's unfair. That's not fair. When God said, if somebody does wrong, it's supposed to be the truth. You don't put out lies and make up lies trying to ruin people's reputations and try and bring people down out of jealousy because you're jealous because, like, of their journeys in life. That's stupid. There's a lot of factors that need to be talked about with this Justin kid. It's God made me sit down and reflect off of it, you know? It's the fact that any person in this life could understand where I'm coming from. Can you imagine, like, you have a stranger coming around your life and they're just all too concerned all the time about what you're doing? If you're going to pursue a job, that person's always concerned about it. If you're at home, your downtime, that person is always concerned about it. This is what I'm talking about, how Justin's trying to interfere with my life. That falls into the realm of crazy. Like a crazy obsessive stalker. Hey, that's what it comes it down to. And then it's like, oh, what is she doing now? Oh, well, she's gonna go to McDonald's and go eat a Big Mac. Well, let me go to McDonald's and try and stop her from being able to eat that Big Mac. That's how he thinks. That's what he's doing. And then, but the point is that, like, I am not his enemy. You understand me? And then the factor of Justin trying to take up this argument as if like he's supposed to be my enemy. That's a lie. It's not true.